Welcome into NFL Daily. I'm your host, Jack Sperry. I am sitting here with CEO of StatusPRO VR, Troy Jones. It's been a busy day here on Super Bowl week here at Radio Row, but he had some time for us today. Troy, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
So I have been a big fan of StatusPRO. I actually have your game on my MetaQuest headset, so I'm a huge nerd, dude. So
awesome.
I'm actually nerding out right now.
Okay,
but
have you won a Super Bowl yet?
I have not won a Super Bowl yet. I'm still,
okay.
I'm still working on it. I'm
I
still
got you.
working on it. But their game, guys, just to plug it a little bit, NFL Pro Era 2025. If you have a MetaQuest headset, I highly recommend you go check it out. I think right now you can get it for about $30 on the Meta store. So it's phenomenal, guys. We're going to talk about it throughout the course of the interview here, but it really is, I think, game-changing technology. So I couldn't recommend it more for you guys. So my first question here, Troy, is I want you guys to tell me a little bit about the game itself that you guys have developed here and why it might be a little bit different and maybe a little bit superior to a regular classic football game like Madden.
Yeah, I love that. So me and my co-founder, Andrew Hawkins, we're both former players. I played Division I quarterback. Hawk played 7 years in the NFL. And really, we built this company out of this idea of how do we leverage our experience as athletes and democratize it and really bring something to life that allows people to experience what it's like to see and feel the game from the lens of the player. So in NFL Pro Era, you're able to do that. So when we initially launched the product, it was just a quarterback position. So you got a chance to play quarterback for any NFL team and have a full gaming experience, like literally from first quarter to fourth quarter to Super Bowl season runs. It's everything that a quarterback goes through in the NFL. And then this year we obviously launched defense as well. So now you're playing both sides of the ball. So if you ever wanted to know what it's like to actually be in the shoes of the player, this is the game for you. I feel like every fan has wanted that experience at some point. We've been able to bring it to life. And again, we love that people enjoy it. We love that people have had fun with it, and we're excited for what we have coming in the future.
Yeah, and virtual reality technology has really taken off here in football specifically over the last couple of years. Yeah. Guys like Jaden Daniels, guys like Marcus Mariota, the Commanders invested in it this year. The Minnesota Vikings invested in it this year. And I think with the success of those guys, you're going to see more teams invest in it in the future. Yeah. But also, media companies like ESPN have been using this type of VR technology as well. Do you want to maybe talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so this year we had the fortunate pleasure of partnering with ESPN and launching the first ever Pro Era Visualizer segment. So what that is Dan Orlovsky and Andrew Hawkins being able to essentially leverage next-gen stats, the player tracking data that the NFL provides, to recreate these plays exactly as they happen on the field. So traditionally you see Dan Orlovsky breaking down film. He's telling people like, hey, this is what the quarterback saw and he did this. But there's always a disconnect because you're not seeing it from the lens of the player. So you may understand what Dan's saying, but you still may not really appreciate just the strategy that goes into the game or as quickly as it happens that a quarterback has to see it. Now with our product, we're putting you in the lens of any player. So in this segment, which airs every Tuesday, Dan is jumping from player to player, jumping from perspective to perspective. So he's showing you what the quarterback sees, breaking it down to play, but then going to the receiver's perspective to show you what they're seeing. Same from the defenders, right? So as you think about this idea of educating people and allowing people to just see the game and break down the game with more depth, that's what this technology does. And I think that's why teams, and similarly the way that Dan is using it on broadcast, teams have been able to use it to help their players get familiar with different scenarios. Because football is such a complex sport, and how you disguise things really, dictates a lot for a defense or an offense. So getting able to see as many scenarios as you possibly can just gives a player confidence. And I think, what we've seen with Jaden, if you watch the way he plays, and I played quarterback and I've watched him this year, he plays the game in a very mature way. And he just understands what the offense is trying to do in any play that's called and understands what his assignment is against any defense. That's why you didn't see him making a lot of decisions where he was forcing plays or he just had such a command for the game. And I do think that, that's a direct indication of him using this technology and just getting those countless reps.
100%. I actually cover the Commanders here at Chat Sports, so I have been taking a deep dive into what he's been doing back at LSU and then now with the Commanders, and he swears by it. He swears by this technology. Now, I think the Commanders use a different company from yours, Cognalize, which is a German company, but is it part of your guys' plans in the future to partner with collegiate programs, NFL programs? Because I think what makes you guys unique is that you're an American company. Yeah. And I know right now you guys are are you're doing a bunch of different stuff, but are you planning
Yeah.
on doing all the different crazy stuff with the NFL and collegiate teams, with all the different, you implement the plays, implement the defenses, using AI technology to kind of give a quarterback a full game experience every single day in practice?
Yeah, 100%. I think that we are uniquely positioned because obviously American company, former athletes, to really maximize and take advantage of this space. Fun fact, we actually started as a trading company, right? So the gaming wasn't our first product. It was the Baltimore Ravens, the Chicago Bears, University of Michigan using our training product. So for us, we actually were excited to actually see the news about Jayden because, we were doing this 8 years ago in the sense of like trying to get teams to see this technology and see how it benefits them. And we still have teams using our product. We've obviously been marketing and focused on the game. But because we built this video game, to your point on AI and just other emerging technology, we've gotten so close to these companies, the Apples, the Googles, the Metas, and understand where the tech is going. And we have this unique, deep knowledge of football to where we think that no one, there's no one better suited than us to really just amplify and scale this beyond the quarterback, beyond just college, pro, eventually youth. We think that this marries nicely into what we're doing in our entire business plan, and we always have. It's now we're just finally catching up to where you got a champion athlete that really is going around saying, this helps me perform to the level that I do, and that's just been the biggest differentiator here. And that now, timing is perfect because everyone's open to it.
100%. Are you guys just focused on football, or do you plan on branching out to other sports in the future, like basketball, who knows, baseball? Like, what do you guys have plans for that stuff in the future?
Yeah, I think our goal is to build a process and an ecosystem that scales across any sport. So we have interest. We've literally spoken with every sports league in the world. I'm not joking, from cricket to soccer to, to basketball to baseball. So when we first launched in 2022, people saw what we were doing with the NFL and were excited about it. I do think that with our process of how we're really drilling into leveraging player tracking data, which is available across all these sports, and our unique proprietary processes we're building around recreating plays and interacting with those plays, but centered from that data, is going to allow us to scale to other sports quickly and efficiently. And I think this model that we're identifying with like this media training, gamified highlights, really allowing people to live and experience moments is something that scales nicely too, right? Because everybody, no matter if it's Freddie's grand slam that helped win game one, or LeBron and Luka's eventually game-winning dynamic shot that they'll have here soon.
Don't mention that to producer Sam. He's a Mavs fan. He's a huge Mavs fan.
People are gonna want to see what it's like and live it, and I think we're positioned to execute on that.
100%. I think that this is the future of quarterback development in particular. I think you look at the results from guys like the quarterbacks at the Commanders this year, along with the Minnesota Vikings, and like their mental processing speeds go up faster. Jayden claims that his mental processing speed since he started using this stuff has gone up 80%, which is incredible. And I think the reason why that is that you get just more mental reps. You get to see the defenses, you get to see the trends, and you don't have to use any extra physical toll in practice to do it. That's why I think that this is the future. I think within 5 years, every single NFL team in the world will have some form of VR technology to help their quarterbacks. And I think you guys are really on the cutting edge of everything that's going on in that space. And I'm super excited to see what you guys are going to be able to do with that. Before I let you go, all right, I want to talk a little Super Bowl with you. We are here in New Orleans, here on Radio Row. Do you have any bold predictions for the game on Sunday night?
Listen, I believe, and I felt this way from the beginning of the year, the Eagles are a very complete team. Their defense is lights out. Saquon is amazing. The line is great. Jalen's played well. And the Chiefs are the Chiefs. Andy Reid, Steve Spagnuolo, Pat Mahomes, like that's a tall task. But I do believe that the Eagles are going to pull this one out. I don't think we see a three-peat. And I think the difference here is just no one has to, on the Eagles side of the ball, has to carry the game.
Right.
I think Pat does have to be, and he's amazing, I think he does have to go into Superman mode, which he's more than capable of doing. But like that pressure is exactly that. Whereas though if the Eagles just go play their game, if Jalen finds the open guy, if Saquon just takes advantage of the lanes his line creates, if the defense stick to their game, they're going to get a pass rush. They got a good back end. They should be able to pull it out. It'll be a great game, but I think we finally see someone get over that KC hurdle. That's at least what my heart wants. We'll see what happens. Because I just like the back and forth of
two great teams.
Two great teams, someone winning just to like change the narrative a little bit, because I think that leads to just a more exciting season next year versus off a three-peat. listen, I respect it, the greatness that would show for Pat and Andy Reid and the whole team, but I got a feeling that the Eagles are going to take it.
Yeah, I know a lot of people complain about the Chiefs being in the Super Bowl, but I think it's awesome. I think it's going to be great for ratings. I think everyone's like, "Oh, I'm not going to watch the game." That's complete bull crap. Like everyone, if you're either watching the Chiefs to win or you're watching them to lose, right? So I think it's going to be so interesting because I think what's really going to make the difference in this game is the battle in the trenches.
Yeah.
The physicality of that Eagles offensive line, along with Saquon Barkley. I think that if Saquon has a great game, I think you're right. I think the Eagles are going to win. I think Saquon at just $12.5 million against the cap this year, it's absolutely insane. But, I think that you're right. I think Saquon's going to be able to do a good job running the football. I think they're going to be able to control the game. And I'm right there with you, Troy. I think the Eagles take it.
Man, let's hope we're right. I love that.
All right, that'll be it for us here on NFL Daily. This has been Troy Jones, CEO of StatusPRO VR. You guys are really on the cutting edge, and it is really a great time sitting down with you today.
Appreciate that. Thanks for having us. Go get NFL Pro Era. If you don't have a headset, watch the Pro Era Visualizer segment on ESPN.
All right, that'll be us. That'll be it for us here from NFL Daily here at NFL Super Bowl Radio Row. We'll catch you guys next time. And until next time, peace out, guys.